Bob Menendez of New Jersey. He is also, of course, a ranking Democrat on the Foreign Relations Committee. Good to have you, Senator. Thank you for being here. As you prepare to swear in for all of this, the Chief Justice, according to the Constitution, John Roberts, has pretty broad power. All it says is that the Chief Justice shall preside over a Senate impeachment trial of a sitting president. It's not totally specific what he can and can't do, and I think that this trial will test that. What do you believe the Chief Justice should do in terms of potentially compelling witnesses and documents?
Well, I think he should act in a manner in which he would act if he was actually presiding over a trial in any other process, which is obviously listening to motions, making decisions on those motions, and guiding the trial in a fair and transparent manner. Now, in the last impeachment, the former Chief Justice said, I did very little and I did it well. It's going to be a question of what the Chief Justice chooses to do. And even if he chooses to actively engage in presiding in a way that we would expect from any judge, he can be overruled by a majority vote of the Senate. So Mitch McConnell and Republicans could overrule any decision he does make.
With just a simple majority. But the question is, as you rightly bring up, will he follow the Rehnquist model or not, right? Let's move on to the stunning interview that we all heard, I'm sure you saw or read it, of Lev Parnas with Anderson Cooper last night. I know you've been speaking with your Republican colleagues in the Senate, and you told Anderson just a few days ago that some Republican senators are telling you they are leaning toward at least voting yes on witnesses in the Senate trial. Do you believe that what we heard from Lev Parnas makes that more likely?
Well, I think it adds to the growing chorus of issues that really cries out for witnesses. First of all, every American who's ever been a juror at a trial, a participant in a trial, a witness or a TV, or seen it on TV, knows that a trial involves witnesses and documents, plain and simple. That's the American way. Secondly, I would hope that even before Lev Parnas, that the comments made by some of my colleagues of their desire to see witnesses, they can make their desires real by casting a vote to do that. And Parnas, we don't know the veracity of it, but nonetheless, it's the same storyline that President Trump wanted one thing from Ukraine, and that was an investigation of the Bidens.
Well, and what Parnas brings to this equation is that it was, according to Parnas, if you believe him, and he has some major credibility issues, clearly, is that it could have gone back to the Poroshenko administration, which totally undermines this administration's argument of, hey, we wanted to make sure Zelensky and his team were focused on rooting out corruption. We'll see how this all plays out. On the Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch and these documents from Lev Parnas that show that there was a real effort to track her in a very disturbing way. You have sent a letter to the State Department asking for an immediate briefing on this. We know Ukraine's investigating it. We've not heard from state if they're investigating it. Have they agreed to brief you?
I think this morning, just before I came on, I got a message from my staff director that they are talking about briefing us, and I hope they do, and at the highest levels. It would be ironic that Ukraine is more interested in pursuing the security and what happened to a U.S. ambassador than the United States and the State Department would. And so I'm looking for a vigorous investigation of what went on here, because Ambassador Yovanovitch at the House Intelligence Committee testified that she was felt intimidated.
That's right. Okay, well, let us know what you hear if that briefing is confirmed. Finally, on the Iran ongoing situation with the United States, the Trump administration, the White House, abruptly canceled 4 scheduled classified congressional briefings on the situation with Iran, one of which you yourself had requested. And I'm just wondering, because there's been no indication to us of why they canceled. Do you know why? And has it been rescheduled?
Well, ostensibly, they had scheduling conflicts, but this was on the books for a while now. Number one. Number two, it's required. Number three, we are in the midst of possibly casting votes on a war powers resolution and a continuing challenge with Iran. We need to have this information. I think the reason the administration doesn't want to send up the key people involved in the Iran issues is they don't want to answer the simple question: at what point do you believe that you need to come to Congress and ask for authorities if you're going to continue to engage Iran in any way militarily?
Again, that briefing, let us know if that gets rescheduled. Senator Menendez, appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.